Hey there. Start here. So I've got one more Clash of Wills cleared that I'm going to do for you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more after this one because, frankly, this team, if this team is going to keep me in the top 1,000, and this clear is going to keep me in the top 1,000, I might just keep it because honestly the rewards are the same, and I honestly don't think I can get a rank 1 without pulling for Iabria, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't really want to use any resources on a unit just to try and get rank 1 in Clash of Wills. I'm just, you know, I'm a few days away from reaching casual status, so I just don't care that much. But this team did get me a pretty decent score. It's a 220% bonus clear. It was basically like my damage test. You know how I usually like to do my damage test runs to see if my team is even going to be competent enough to achieve a rank 1 status. I think this team could do pretty well, but the problem is, since I don't have Elisperis, I had to bring in Red-Eyed Soul for my dark breaker with the Dark Imperil field, and he doesn't really bring a whole lot else to the table, and I definitely had to re-roll variants a bit with this team to get this score. Now it's a 6-turn clear, so it's not too bad to re-roll for variants on it, but if you're like me and you don't have Elisperis, you don't have Iabria, but you happen to have these units and you just want to try and get yourself a decent score, this might be the team and the clear for you. And just a reminder, the ranking rewards are the same for number 1 all the way up to 1,000. Now normally Clash of Wills there's over 1,000 rank 1s. I don't think it's going to be the case in this one. I don't think that is going to be the case this time around. So I'm kind of interested to see, and I'm just going to leave this team and leave this score the way it is, I think, and wait and see if this stays in the top 1,000. But anyways, so this team can hit the damage cap. It might take some variance rolling, but this team can hit the damage cap with all the bulk modifiers turned on. I can even turn on one of the HP mods for a little extra bonus. I will not play around with the party ailment resist. My team actually only has 15 EX levels anyways, because my soul is only EX1, my Abara is only EX2. So, I can't even turn on all mods even if I wanted to. But I could turn on those 2 HP mods over there if I wanted to go for like a, just below rank 1 clear. I know there are a 330% bonus clear, or a 325, sorry, a 325% bonus clear is, will probably get you a pretty high rank. But we'll see. I'm hopeful that this one will keep me in the top 1,000. So anyways, here's the team. Obviously, if you have the units or better, then you might even be able to do better than me. Especially if you have Elisperis. But if you have Elisperis, you're probably following someone else's clear. But this is for those that don't have her and just want to try and get a decent score. So let's get in there, see how we get it done, and then I'll show you the gear at the end. All right. So let's actually start with Melissa. All right, Melissa will do Uncontrollable Darkness. That's going to imbue the boss and the party. That way, that turn 1, the physical attacks on turn 1, we will resist all of that, or you would absorb it. She's going to resist it because she has high dark resistance, but otherwise she would absorb it. We'll do Chronic Flow to get the morale flowing, and then Shared Immunity for Ailment Resist. Because the boss does throw a lot of ailments at you. It actually throws all the worst ones at you, like Sleep, Paralyze, Confusion, Petrify. It throws all the worst ailments at you. It also does Stop, which is what Soul is going to take care of this turn. So he's going to do Unstoppable Protection, all right, for the Stop resistance. So he gets that from Lakshmi Esper. All right, next we'll have just Chizuru do Strong Samurai, Staunch Samurai, Eastern Winds, just, some buffs and whatnot. It's really just for morale fill there. All right, Elena is going to do Brisk Daybreak. This is purely for the morale. So it does 500 morale every turn for 3 turns. All right, we don't care about the ice ramp. That's whatever. We're not using ice element. That's purely for the morale there. Okay, so then we'll do her cover, which also does morale fill, and with this power, which also does morale fill. You're getting a sense of the theme here. We're just trying to build up morale because we have to hit 200% by turn 6 to do our burst. So yeah, not an easy task, but we'll get there. So then we'll just do Wish of Vengeance, double Malicious. All right, so sorry, I didn't say it. 2B did Avoid and double True Charge Blade. That's all purely for morale fill there. All right, and this damage obviously is going to be irrelevant because the boss has all the big buffs and mitigations up. We don't really care about that. You just got to make sure you hit the boss every turn. And it also builds morale to hit it with a weak element. All right, so now Soul can do some breaks. So we'll do Wave of Despair, which does an 85% full break. And then we'll just do triple Darkness Beam just to hit the boss. All right, Ibarra is going to do her Jinmetsu, Kinmetsu, and Anun. So that does Human Killer, Demon Killer buffs for the party, and does the the Darken View for herself. And Melissa is going to do... what is Melissa going to do here? We're going to do Human Killer on Chizuru. We'll do a Curse Control to imbue the party. And we'll do Shelga for the 75% Magic Mitt for Elena. All right, Elena's going to do her cover again. Sanctuary for all the racial mitigations. And then Shining Provocation. It's all for morale fill there. Chizuru does Plant Pulverizer for the killers. And 2B is just going to do triple True Charge Blade. Again, just revving up the morale here as much as possible. Okay, so there we go. Elena taking it. There's some non-elemental magic damage on that turn, and then some single target earth magic damage, which she resists. All right, so on this turn, Elena is going to do Celestial Guard, Benediction, and Crystal Echo. All right, Melissa is going to do Human Killer on Elena. That's for next turn. She'll do like a Dragon Killer on herself. That's just for morale fill. And then what else did we... Oh, we want to do a Curaga to heal Elena back up to make sure that Elena does not die on this turn. Okay. We're then going to do triple Malicious. Soul is going to do Duskfall, which does the 89% defense and spirit break and 150 dark imperil. Your End is Nigh, which just does a human killer buff for the party, 160%. And then double Darkness Beam to hit the boss. Okay, Chizuru. I'm actually just going to hit reload because Chizuru and 2B are going to do the exact same thing that they did last turn. And then just re-up the triple Malicious Flash. All right, so the boss's mitigation and defense and spirit buffs have worn off, so we can deal some real damage here. All I care about doing is pushing the 90% threshold, okay? Because I want to get that first heal out of the way. For when you cross 90%, it does one of its 20% heals. I just want to get that out of the way because next turn we're going to do another burst, and I don't want to get the heal next turn. I want the heal on this turn. So if your team's not pushing, not strong enough to push 90%, just turn off that 1 HP mod. It'll be a 200% bonus clear, but, it's better than nothing. All right, so Elena taking it like a champ. Melissa is saved by her guts. Okay, so now I'm actually going to hit reload again. Then we'll do LB, LB, LB. All right, because we're going to start setting up. Soul is going to shift. Okay. He'll do Superior Domain, which does the 30% Imperil field to Ice and Dark. All right. You got to make sure you upgrade it to level 5 to get the full 30%. He'll then do Frozen Pulse, which does the full break again. And then double Darkness Cannon. Okay, just to hit the boss with Dart. All right, Melissa on this turn is going to do Minutes of Might for the buffs. Abyssal Blessing to start the Dark ramp. And Enchanted Dial Human on 2B. Okay, so now I'm going to do the Defense and Spirit buff so that Elena has the higher spirit. You just want to do as much damage as you can on this turn. Okay, so I'll start Chizuru and 2B and then do Elena and Ibarra. Okay, yeah, it's a pretty good position. The idea is I want to push it low enough to make sure that I kill the boss on turn 6, because that's the whole point of the damage test. It's to see if my burst is good enough to hit the damage cap, but I don't want to deal with the rest of the fight. I just want it to be over with, and so I got to make sure that I kill it on turn 6 no matter what, even if I don't hit the damage cap. All right, Melissa. Actually, no, sorry, Melissa's going to go last. The first thing you do on this turn, before you forget, is do Enduring Will, which does a 150% Earth buff to the party. Earth resistance buff. That is imperative. If you don't do that, if you forget to do it, Elena's going to die, and it's going to ruin your whole run. So that is the first thing you do before you do anything else. Now 2B can do Tyvus' Spirit. Chizuru does Tyvus' Spirit. All right, Elena is going to shift. All right, Melissa is actually the last person to go on this turn. All right, so we're going to do Grace of Procyon. Now, this is important because this does a perfect dispel. This is why Melissa has to go last, because Melissa is going to imbue the boss with Dark again on this turn, and we want to make sure that we're not dispelling that imbue. So she'll do Grace of Procyon, Pollux Blade, and Judgment of Beetlejuice, because we're going to do a little bit more chip damage on this turn. Soul is going to do Elemental Burst Dark, double Darkness Cannon, and then end with Access Sorcery Condenser, which does the mod boost to his LB and also fills up his LB for you. You know, mine's already filled, but if it wasn't, that would fill it up. We're going to have Ibarra. Sorry, Ibarra is going to shift. All right, she's going to do Tsukio, Demonic Cleave, and Demonic Retribution. Okay, now don't worry, Demonic Retribution does another mag store. Okay, so even though we're essentially using them both up on this turn, but again, all we're trying to do is a little bit of chip damage here. Okay, to put ourselves in good position to kill. All right, so now we're going to do Resounding Will for the attack and mag buffs. Okay, and we should be good to go. There you go. So now no matter what my burst is next turn, we're definitely going to kill the boss. There's no question about it. Okay? So now Melissa can go. She's going to do All-Consuming Darkness to imbue the boss with Dark so that we don't take any damage on this turn, because it's a fairly harsh turn damage-wise. We'll do Enchanted Human on Chizuru. And then we can just do another killer here for some extra morale fill. You see we're pretty close to 200, but you definitely want to make sure that you're hitting 200%. So just do one of her other killers, because it does 350 morale when you do that. Okay, so now we have 200%. Perfect. Okay, there you go. We've resisted everything. Now we're ready to kill. Now, there's a chance we might hit the damage cap. There's a chance we might not. I've been averaging, I think, like 4.8 billion. 4.8 bill with this team and gear and everything. But if everybody rolls higher than average, we should hit the 5 billion damage cap. But, you know, if not, you've seen how it works, and you just re-roll it until you hit that damage cap. All right. So Chizuru is going to shift and do LB. Elena does LB. Ibarra is going to stay in her shift form, of course, and do her LB. Soul does his LB. We need to fill up 2B. So we'll do seconds of support, which is fantastic on units like 2B, who can double dip on that mod boost because it does the 60 times LB mod boost. 2B double dips on that because hers is 2 parts. All right, and it fills up 2B's LB for us. So seconds of support on 2B, human killer on 2B, and then shared immunity. Okay. All right, now 2B can shift back to her LB. All right, I'm going to do our attack and mag buffs and defense and spirit buffs. All right, now Ibarra and Soul are both one-hit finishers. Okay, and so, you know, we'll start our chainers, obviously, and then send... what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Chizuru, 2B, followed shortly thereafter by Elena. There's a little bit of a delay between Extreme Nova and Bolting Strike, so you have to wait like a split second and then send Elena. And then immediately after that, I'll send Soul and Ibarra, because both of them have fairly quick finishers. Now, to make sure that everybody... you'll know everybody is in the chain if you hit 88 hits on the chain. If you don't hit 88 hits on the chain, then somebody missed. Somebody missed a hit, you're probably not going to hit the damage cap in that case. All right, so make sure you're getting 88 hits in your chain on this one. All right. I think we're in. Yeah, we've already hit the 100 hit count score, so we don't have to worry about that one at all. All right, so Chizuru, 2B, Elena, and then our finishers. All right. $88 hits. Perfect. All right, let's see if we hit the damage cap. Nice! Look at that. We hit it. 5 billion. All right. I'm glad that worked on the recording. So rarely does it ever actually happen on the time that I record. So there you go. All right, a perfect score at 220% bonus. That gives you the 1.2 million score. Let's see who are the winners. Yeah, 2B. Wow, 2B and Ibarra. Man, they really brought it. Look at that. That is impressive. All right. So yeah, 2B and Ibarra, obviously the big damage dealers here. Chizuru, you know, she definitely kicks in a healthy amount of damage. She's probably the biggest thing that she brings to the party would be that plant killer. All right, because she can bring plant killers and deliver solid damage. Elena not doing too shabby. You know, most of that damage that you see there is probably on that final burst turn. You know, she did do that one little burst on turn, what was it? Turn 4. Another mini burst, not really a burst, but a little chip damage on turn 5. But yeah, I'd say a majority of that is from that burst. And then the Soul, you see Soul there. He's you know, he does what he can. He doesn't get any kind of leader skill from this party. He doesn't have any morale, so that's honestly the best that he can do. You know, Elisperis would obviously do better because she's, you know, a class unit, has morale scaling, blah blah blah. She gets the leader skill, all that jazz. But yeah, if you don't happen to have an Elisperis, Soul might be your backup unit here. All right, so there's the damage spread. Not too bad. Feeling pretty good. I'm already done farming, so dismiss. Let's take a look at the gear and see what we're playing with here. So I'll turn on the party elemental resist mod so you see what that looks like. Let's manage our party. All right, so let's take a look at 2B. So yeah, I did, you know, I had to eke out every last little bit of damage on this team, so this was like very finely tuned. So we did go with a Dark Mirasame build on our 2B this time because we had to squeeze out some extra attack stat on her. Ruler's Regalia, Magister's Ring. Kelger's Cape is great for this trial because it has human and plant killer on it. So this just helped 2B cap off her plant killer. Dragoon Helm, just a high attack helm. Oh my gosh, I'm... What? I'm missing a materia? Oh my gosh, I could have given her extra demon killer. All right. Let it be known that you should put some extra demon killer on your 2B. I'm going to do that right now. I wonder if that's been holding me back and why I've been having to do re-rolling. I cannot believe that. Now she's maxed on demon killer, so maybe you won't have to re-roll as much. That is hilarious. So yeah, there you go. That's all she needs, and she's capped on everything with her own vision card. I think she's got, yeah, full demon, human, plant, good to go. Pretty much same thing in her Brave Shift form, except you just take out that one demon killer and put in Tyvis's spirit. I think that must have been what happened. When I put in the Tyvis's spirit, it probably unequipped the demon. Have you ever noticed it does that sometimes, where it unequips something in their normal form when you put in a slot? But that was a different slot. I don't know. It's weird. And then you don't even realize it. So I think that's what happened. I didn't even realize it had unequipped the demon killer in that last slot. Anyways, pretty much same things here. Full LB damage, full everything except for the demon killer, as you can see. All right, and that's 2B for you. Elena in her normal form is just full on bulk. You want to bulk her up as much as possible. So I gave her this vision card because it's great with the high spirit and the high HP on it. And then as much earth resist as you can. You want her to have, yeah, you want to have her pretty much as high earth resist as you can get her. All right. So I don't think the Earth Imperil comes until... Actually, I don't think the Earth Imperil, now that I think about it, I don't think the Earth Imperil actually comes into play until turn like 4. But anyways, high Earth resist is important. Otherwise, just, you know, lots of bulk. In her Brave Shift form, you want to be very concerned about the Earth resistance. This is imperative. You have to have 150% Earth resist after, that's with the elemental resist mod turned off. Okay, I mean with the elemental resist mod turned on, I mean, so that means 250% total earth resist in her Brave Shift form, or else she will die on turn 5 and you will be screwed. Okay, so Golem's Shell is there for earth resist, 30%. Knight's Metal is 30%. Smiling Goddess is 20%. Priestess's Vengeance is 60%. Prideful Incarnate is 80%. Okay, and then this vision card also comes with 30%. So yeah, you definitely want to stack that up. Like, if Elena dies on turn 5, you're kind of screwed. All right. So, and then the Prophet's Diadem obviously is just a high spirit hat. It does help with her MP issues, so I highly recommend it for Elena. That way she's not, like, you know, running out of MP by turn 3, which she probably would. Okay. She does have full human and demon killers because I equipped her with Diabolos, but she has no plant killer because there's just no room. She has to survive turn 5. So you can just forget plant killers. You got to make sure she's got 250% earth resist, which then comes down to 150 after you turn on that elemental resist mod. All right. Ibarra in her normal form, she's just got all the best clash gear. Obviously her own STMR and her TMR. You know, she's pretty easy to cap on the killers. I gave her, this is the best vision card that I have for her. She is going to be, you know, the strongest unit on the party. And so I gave her this vision card. Mysteries of Hest to cap up her LB damage. Seaweed Slayer to cap up plant killer. And then, you know, Hateful Agent just for some EP and stats. She is capped on all killers. Yep, and LB damage in this form. Okay, so that's important. And then obviously in her Brave Shift, pretty much the exact same thing. Exact same gear. All right, exact same stats. And there you go. And yeah, Seaweed, you don't have to have Seaweed Slayer, by the way. It can be any plant killer. This is just nice because it comes with 70% mag. I don't think she's... Yeah, so you would need something with like at least 50% mag on it, I guess, just to make sure. What's her LB damage? Yeah, so, you know, Seaweed Slayer was the best for me in that slot option. All right. Chizuru in her normal form, just built for some damage, so she does need to be able to deal some damage. That's helpful in pushing that 90% threshold on turn 3. She also needs Tyvus' Spirit if you want to hit that damage cap. And then this is what I use to cap off all her killers. Hitting Demon and Human is difficult for Chizuru. Plant is, she basically caps it innately. She has Wilk's Vision card for the morale boost. So she's got 250 Demon, 300 Human, and 275 Plant. Don't care about LB damage in this form, but in her Brave Shift form we do. So in Brave Shift form, pretty much all the same gear here, and then we're just making sure we've capped off her killers. So same killers you saw before, but we added Showered with Mako for the LB damage boost and the Human killer to cap that up. So she's 250 Demon, 300 Human, 275 Plant, 300 LB damage. Good to go. All right. Melissa doesn't really need anything. She just needs to have higher defense than she needs to have a higher defense stat than Elena. All right, that way she provokes those really strong single target physicals instead of Elena. All right, so just anything you can give her to buff up her defense stat. I gave her Jet Shot. She doesn't have to have Jet Shot, but you need to make sure she has a form of Guts otherwise, because that's where she gets her guts from. So make sure that, yeah, just make sure that you give her a form of Guts somewhere else. You could use something like, you know, anything just to bulk up her defense stat would be fine there. All right. Yep. I think that's basically it. She doesn't have to have passive provoke or evasion or anything like that. So that's all she needs. All right, Soul in his normal form has the Empress's Rod and the Treasure Memorial Ring for that turn 1 morale fill. Even though he's EX1, I did use a Moogle on his STMR because yeah, that's going to be helpful, especially in his Brave Shift form. Really, the gear in this form is irrelevant. I geared him for damage, but it's not necessary. You see, I didn't even bother doing any of the ability slots. I did give him Moonlit Parade of 1 vision card because it's a very strong magic vision card and it has killers on it, human and plant. So that one's pretty important. And then in his Brave Shift form, obviously his STMR, I gave him Dark Walkure, which, and you know, he's wearing all this stuff which you normally can't, so you have to give him Equip Clothes, Equip Hat, and Fryevia's Expertise to then equip the sword, Shantoto's Ribbons, which are nice for this one because it has Human and Demon Killer on it. Kuja's Raiments is for the 150 Mag TDH, Lulu's Necklace to finish capping that up. And then, yeah, Dark Walkure, obviously the Dark Vision Sword. Supreme Victor just to give him some extra killers. And yeah, I think he should be good there. He's capped up on all that. And then his killers are 275 Demon, 300 Human, and 200% Plant. All right. So yeah, there we go. That's everybody. You know, obviously you could squeeze a little bit more damage out if you had an EX2 Soul, or if you decided to level 130 him. He's actually not a bad unit to use to over level with the Emperor Cactuars if you like using a dark team in Dark Visions, because he in his Brave Shift form he actually does, it's pretty cool, he does a mag store every turn in his Brave Shift form at the beginning of the turn. And so he's definitely, you know, he's kind of a cool unit. I actually really enjoyed using him here. And he's one of the few souls that, you know, I don't mind getting in a pull, because he's definitely not a troll like most of his other forms. He's pretty cool. I think he could probably deal some decent damage on a dark team in like Dark Visions, because his Brave Shifted LB starts at a 300 times base, and then you add the 120 mod boost to it, so it's a 420 with a 300 mag store. In Dark Visions, that's actually pretty good. And it's a physical damage, so you can imbue it. You can use physical killers. He can go either ice or dark innately, but he prefers dark, obviously. So yeah, I kind of enjoyed using Soul. I hope I pull a few more of him later on so I can get him to EX2. I might actually stick him in the Shard Dungeon for that reason. He might be kind of a cool unit to have, EX2. But anyways, that's the team, that's the gear. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I don't think I'm going to do any more Clash of Wills, honestly, unless unless I'm in danger of falling out of top 1,000. Even then, I don't think I really care. Bub is due. Really, the baby could come anytime in the next week or two. So, I'm just kind of like, meh, whatever. If I don't rank 1 this Clash, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm getting ready to go cash. So, join me, folks. Join me on the casual side, right? So anyways, thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.